Morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, eBay, don't you love it? I think one thing you've got to get used to with eBay is it is ups and downs, not only in terms of sales but in terms of like your mood and how you're approaching it. Sometimes you're like really going for it, other times you're like bloody Nora, what is going on? So what's happened to me? Well, sales for me over the last sort of like year have been consistently good, which has been really great. And I was expecting a bit of a tail off, kind of January time, January February time. I think that's just beginning to happen now. So that was going on, which was a bit like, oh, what am I going to do with stock? But what kind of what kind of tipped me over the edge yesterday, for a few hours before I resolved it, I've got to say, is I got a negative feedback, and it's silly really because one negative out of however many thousand positives I've got shouldn't make a difference and should make a difference to your head, but boy does it really does. So I got this negative, and I think it would be the same with any reseller. They get it, and it just causes that straight away. What's going on, you don't expect to see it. Um, so mine was on a 99p sale, and it's, you just kind of think, why did I bother selling? It was a tumbling monkey replacement part, and you think, why did I even bother selling a plastic red monkey to some woman in Taunton or wherever it was? And well, the reason I sold it was I was clearing it. I'd bought this tumbling monkeys box for 50p or something. The box was knackered, and I'd sold about 16 monkeys for £1 each plus postage, and made about 15 quid out of 50p or whatever it was. And easy to pack as well. Gone. So that's why I did it. But you begin to think, oh yeah, those people who say, oh, I'm not selling anything less than 20 quid or 50 quid, they might have a point, because I've sold a monkey for 99p, got that in my pocket, but I've got a negative for the pleasure. But then looking at it from another point of view, if I'd have sold £100 item and then got a negative on that, I'd have the negative and possibly be down 100 quid on the sale, assuming it would get returned or refunded or whatever. So on the looking on the positive side, the financial impact is not very big. It's just the problem of the negative. So the whole story behind it was, the reason she'd put for the negative was, couldn't contact buyer, couldn't find contact details to get in touch with buyer, which is like, message on eBay, or just open a return and start it. So this came through, and the usual thing of, oh, here we go. Now my normal tact on this, if I'm in the right frame of mind, which after reading about negative I'm not always in the right frame of mind, is to ring up the buyer. I have done a video on dealing with negatives and getting them changed to positive. I will put it in here, a link. Change that neg to a pos, and I've always been able to do it in the last couple of years, but every time I get one I think, is this the one? If it's the sort of person who leaves a negative, what sort of person am I going to get on the end of the phone? So I'm always expecting some grumpy old man, and a bit like me. And in actual fact, the buyer's name was in a man's name, but when I rang, it was, I assume, his partner or his wife. It was a lady who'd bought this for her grandkids, and she just said, yeah, no, I deal with everything, it's just in my husband's name. So I rang up, and it's all detailed how I do this in the video, but you're overly nice. Firstly, you sort of say you understand their situation, you understand that the item has arrived late, and apologise for that. And now I'd sent this on the 18th, and what is it now? It's the 5th, so it's 3 weeks. It's not going to get there. So I said, I know there's been delays due to COVID, but if it hasn't arrived now, it looks like it's never going to arrive. And then I kind of said what I do in this situation is, seeing as it's been this long, I'll give you a full refund, blah 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 blah. And I think I mentioned about you could probably have 10% on anything in my store, but I'll probably block her, to be honest. But I just sort of said that as a. And then we just got chatted about. She bought the Tumbling Monkeys because her kids are into Toy Story. I started talking about Toy Story and sort of I like it and my kids like it. Now they're timeless, and just having a general kind of conversation, really, because she started this conversation. And then right at the very end, I said I'd sort all that out for her, but I did notice she'd left a negative feedback. Can I request she changed it? It's obviously her decision, but I'll send her the form, and I just let her know that a message would be in her rebate if she wanted to change it, and she did change it. She changed it from a negative to a positive. If I'd done that over messaging, I don't think I would have got anywhere. That reading an email or reading a message is always quite sort of like a stark, cold thing. You don't get any emotion across. So yeah, I got the negative, and I was like, the roller coaster suddenly went after. I've had other doubts in my mind as well, because obviously the sales gone down a little bit. It's still good for the time of year, to be honest. But I'm thinking about where I'm going to get stock, and I did get a clothing haul from one of the wholesalers. I've done what every other reseller's sort of like on the bandwagon with at the moment. I thought, well, I'll give it a go. I used to be quite into clothes, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and haven't done a lot of it really. I'll pick stuff up at boot fairs if it's obviously good. Like I've picked up quite a few DMs and Paul Smith shirts and stuff like that if I can see them cheap and that, and I know I can make 30 quid on them. But the wholesale stuff, I haven't never ordered it. I've bought stuff from like wholesalers who have come to boot fairs. But anyway, I'll show you a few bits, because I was getting a bit kind of like, I spent 300 quid, and then I was kind of like, have I made good choices here? Obviously, I did it. I did a pick on online. So I'll show you a few things. I ended up getting 50 things. It was a mixture of tracky tops. I got polo shirts for some reason. I seem to have a whole load of like Ralph Lauren polo shirts. I think when I put in my original kind of like request, I wanted stuff with like sports teams on, and I asked for like polo shirts with sport, like a sport on, like it might be a cricket thing and I think they just kind of missed the fact that I might want a rugby top, but it's got to be like rugby, like a rugby polo top. You know what I mean? So they've just given me sort of polo tops. So so I did that. I did tracky tops and I did cycle tops. So I'll show you some of the tracky tops. So here's a good example of where I've made a mistake. I saw this on the hanger, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll give that a go. And the first thing is it's Puma, which I don't think is a good, that good a brand anyway. It's a boy's size, and in actual fact, it is a little bit worn on the condition. It's a little bit of kind of, what do they call that? A little bit of bumpiness. I don't even know what you call it. So I mean, that is like £5 tops really, and really I want to be looking at least a tenner for some of the items. So that was a fail, but a lot of them have been quite good. Let's show you this one. I like this one. Again, it's another Puma, but I just like the colours, and I think I like. And this is a large. I think I like the colours because they're Sutton United colours, which is kind of like my local team. If you haven't heard of the U's, they played Arsenal in a couple of years ago. They also beat Leeds and Wimbledon AFC in their cup run, glorious cup run of, I think it was 2017 maybe. So I like that one. I don't know if that will sell, but I can certainly wear it down Gander Green Lane of a Saturday afternoon. I've got a feeler, nice red feeler. I've listed this so it's folded, so I'm not going to unfold it. Again, I like the look of it, but I've no idea whether feeler is an in brand. I don't think Puma's an in brand. So I think my lack of knowledge has kind of resulted in maybe not getting the absolute best stuff, but the reason I did this was to get the knowledge. It was all about the experience. Obviously, I don't want to be chucking money away, but just the order was like 300 quid, and I mean, I am expecting to make money, but if the I only make like 100 quid on the 300 quid, then that's okay. Another one I quite liked was I got 3 North Face tracky tops, which are quite nice. But this one had Kilimanjaro, which I thought was quite a nice little graphic on there. So I've drafted them all up and measured them all. Well, when I've done all the polo shirts and all the tracky tops. I haven't done the cycle tops. So they're all drafted. Here's another couple. I've got 2 more examples. But yeah, I was getting huge doubt on because I've listed all of the polo shirts, and here's a good as stuff tumbles from the shelves. Here's a good example. It's a Ralph Lauren polo, kind of. Is it a long sleeve? Yeah, it's a long sleeve striped rugby polo shirt. And I just seem to have got a load of these, and one of them had a hole in. There was one item that had a hole in, which they missed, which I think are fair enough. There are a few that have marks that have come out pretty much. I think maybe one item that the mark was still there after a wash. I'm still putting stuff through the wash. So out of the whole 50 items, one had a hole, maybe 1 or 2 had marks that might still be showing, and then maybe another few had marks which will come out. So that gives you an idea of what you have to deal with. Anyway, with it, the doubt was creeping in. Oh God, why did I get Ralph Lauren polo shirts? Like, generic stripe. Should I have got something a bit more jazzy? But this is sold this morning, so again, from like doubt, what am I doing? I haven't got a clue. To 22 quid. That's all right. If every item sells for £22, I'll be minted, but that's obviously not going to happen. So that sold for 22. That Puma Boys tracky probably won't sell. But yeah, it's all knowledge. And here's another one I quite liked. When I was talking about sports rugby tops and all of that sort of thing, this was kind of the sort of thing I had in mind. So this is an island top. But again, I don't know if it'd be worth that much. But yeah, there you go. I mean, the whole thing with getting that wholesale order, it was you have to try it, and you have to accept that you will make mistakes. I am not the best reseller in the world, and I shouldn't beat myself up about the fact that I might get an egg, or I might not get the best. Someone else might be getting a great deal. It's the old numbers thing. It's the turnover thing. You see someone's turnover figures at 20 squillion pounds, and yours is like 3p, and it can affect you in terms of like, oh God, why isn't that me? But of course, what you should be doing is, okay, well, how can I just improve every day? And even though that wholesale order is like, maybe it's not the best, I think it's still good. So and will make me money. But the most invaluable thing is the experience, and that's what to take away from it. And we're learning every day, so there we go. Anyway, I was hoping this would only be like 10 minutes long. It's ended up 40 minutes long, so please do excuse my extra 4 minutes. I've got to crack on doing some more work and listing some more stuff to try and get some more sales. Looking forward to a nice weekend as well. Hope you have a good one. If you like the video, please give a thumbs up. Please do subscribe if you're not subscribed. I love a subscriber. I mean, who doesn't? But and stick on the notifications bell. Try and do short, concise videos on reselling, and then on Monday I'll kind of like do an hour of listing and just talk nonsense. So if you like that sort of thing, you might like the channel. But take care for now, and I'll see you soon. Take care.